Hello everybody. This SAT text that I'm going to analyze and go over the questions for is what I call music, the short name, and this will be my complete analysis of that text and the questions. So, the analysis of the first paragraph in the first passage. I will note, seeing this line or this paragraph, that this is one where there's two passages, and you'll have some of the questions that are referring only to the first passage, some questions perhaps just referring to the second passage, and then maybe some questions that make you combine or compare the two passages together. So be aware of that. That is specific SAT and SAT style questioning. But this first paragraph of the first passage is hashtag music is abstract, but it directly affects our minds and our bodies. So this is talking about how music is just this abstract sound, very auditory thing, but it has a direct physiological effect on our minds and our bodies. The second paragraph talks about how music research shows that there is a pleasurable stimulus in our minds and our bodies that is triggered with certain kinds of music for certain kinds of people. It's different for everybody. The third paragraph talks about how music actually releases a chemical in the brain called dopamine, which is a pleasure chemical. So research is very important. Discoveries made there. Paragraph number 4. Hashtag people show stimulation right before their favorite part. The reason why this is so significant and such a breakthrough in the research, it's not that, oh, that's my favorite song and there's this consistent release of this dopamine in the brain, but it shows that it's specifically the anticipation before your favorite part or chords or refrain or chorus of the song. That is the strongest release of dopamine. That's a very specific research finding. The fifth paragraph does begin passage number 2, so obviously both passages are short, and this is asking the question, is the music response evolutionary? Meaning, is it something that stems from early humankind in our development as humans many, many centuries ago? The sixth paragraph makes a very important discovery about the research, and that is that sad music has the biggest reaction, meaning in the mind and the body of people, sad music has a biggest reaction. I would think intuitively that it would be the uplifting, happy music, but no, it's actually the opposite, which that research makes it counterintuitive, meaning opposite of what you would normally think. The seventh paragraph is hashtag more evidence for quote unquote non-crying sadness. That the seventh paragraph is just providing more support and building upon the sixth paragraph. So now it's question time. 10 questions. Question number 1. The author of passage 1 indicates which of the following about caudate. It is answer B. It is involved in learning associations. I will tell you that when I went through this and saw this first question, I don't even remember seeing the word caudate in the article in the passage at all. So I had to go back through, which is a great tip and strategy for you to do, is when you have a key word, scroll back or skim back through the text and find where it's located, and then you can see the context of the text around it, so you can get the correct answer choice. And I noticed that in line 40 it mentions the word caudate, and then in line 44 learning is in there. It actually says learning associations. Question number 43, as it's listed here in this text. Which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question, showing that question 42 and 43 are linked? Very common SAT question strategy. And the answer is D, which is lines 42 through 46. And you'll notice that in the previous question, I did reference line number specifically from that range of lines. Question number 44. The author of passage 1 indicates that C, music can evoke feeling states. In lines 14 and 15, specifically line 14, the quote, feelings come from. That is why I chose answer choice C, because it does evoke. You gotta know what the word evoke means. It means to bring about. 45. As used in line 5, betrays most nearly means A. Always go back to the text and substitute answer choices in the sentence where that word is coming from. And when I did that, betrays, which has multiple meanings, as a lot of words do, A, demonstrates, is the one that makes the most sense. 46. The author of passage 2 refers to coldness in line 75 primarily to be an illustration of an evolutionary explanation. And I will tell you that we learn this from the surrounding lines of context. I'm not going to go through that for you because I would like you to pause the video, go back to line 75 in the word coldness, look at that sentence and the sentences preceding it and following it, and see why I came up with answer B. 47. According to the author of passage 2, what do Panskep and Bennick and Kernbach have in common? C. They draw a connection between piloerection and sadness. The reason why it's this one, or this answer choice, is because of lines 57 through 60. Also notice that when I read the question, I really didn't know how to pronounce the last name of those researchers. That is because the exact names of how to pronounce them is not something that I am going to be worried about or be hung up on how to say their name right, because I need to get to the meat or the meaning of the text. I know that they are researchers, but how they pronounce their last names is completely not important to me. Remember, you're usually having a time restraint on this test, so don't get hung up on things that you don't know need to be hung up on, because it just wastes your time. 48. The reference to the song I Will Always Love You has primarily which effect? And I picked, and it is the correct answer, is A. It exemplifies when pyroerection is likely to occur. Because exemplifies, it means it's an example of. So the text is giving you an example. Question number 50. Which choice best describes the relationship between the two passages? See how we have gone from questions related only to passage 1 to questions only related to passage 2, and now we're seeing these questions where they're combining the passages together. These are usually the harder ones, but which choice best describes the relationship? It's B. Passage 1 considers positive emotional responses to music, while passage 2 considers the relevance of negative emotions to musical response. And you know what is present in answer choice B? The gist of both of those passages. It's key ideas and details, but for each passage, it's the global, meaning the overall understanding of them. That's why you should get answer choice B, and you would be right. Question 51. On which of the following points would the authors of both passages most likely agree? C. Again, key ideas and details, but on a global sense, meaning an overall understanding and comprehension of the entire text. All the text evidence related to this shows this very point in C. So read that answer choice and know it for yourself. Pause the video to do so. And now the last question, 52. Which choice provides the best evidence that the author of passage 1 would agree to some extent with the argument attributed to Panskep in lines 70 through 72 in passage 2? The answer is B, lines 12 and 13. Go back, read through that entire quote, and you should see the reasoning behind why it is answer B. It's much better than the other ones. Thank you, and I enjoy you in my class, and I'm glad you listened to this. Thank you.